Is there any way to tell if someone is likely to cheat on me? Are there signs I should pay attention to? Most of us tell ourselves two stories. If someone cheated on me, I see the signs I'm not stupid. Or the opposite, I can never relax because cheating can come out of nowhere. Neither extreme really helps. So, in this episode, I want to do two things. First, talk about concrete patterns and behaviors that can be clues someone is closing or about to cross a line. Not to make you paranoid, but to help you to stop gaslighting yourself when something genuinely feels off. And second, talk about what happens after. Can trust ever be rebuilt? When does it make sense to try? And when it is healthier to walk away? This is not an episode about playing detective 24/7. It's about learning to read reality a little more clearly and trusting yourself more, whether you stay or go. So take a breath, maybe grab a drink, and let's talk about the signs you really don't want to see, but absolutely need to know. Welcome to Love Hacks. Hello everyone, this is Kyla, and today we are going to talk about the question we are all going to obsess about, and is if my partner cheating or has any kind of intention of cheating. We all have been there asking ourselves, is this person cheating on me, or is able or capable to cheating on me? Well, today we're going to talk about this. So let's start with something simple and a bit brutal. Cheating isn't random. You know, people always say like stuff like we were drunk, or it was a mistake, or I don't know what happened, or how did it happen. And if we zoom out, you usually see a series of behavior and choices before the affair. And sometimes we are letting messages to get a little bit too intimate, and we start hiding conversation to avoid a lot of drama with our partner. Or maybe we are not talking about dissatisfaction inside the relationship with our partner. So when we choose ego and validation over honesty again and again, that's when all the things that can lead to cheating happen. Instead of asking ourselves is there a magic way to predict if someone will cheat, ask yourself, how does this person handle attention, honesty, discomfort, and boundaries? Why do we have to ask that question? Well, it's a very simple thing. Cheating is one of the possible results of the way they handle all those four things. No list of signs can give you 100% certainty, but there are behaviors that raise the probability, and they are behaviors that make cheating much harder to do. So let's go to both, okay? Let's take a look on secrecy and shaky behavior. One of the biggest areas where you can observe clues is technology. You know, cell phones, messages, all these texts that this person might send, or if this person is walking away from you when he's talking on the phone and stuff like that. Again, none of this proves, okay, cheating. We are just looking at patterns and shifts that this person might have. Things to notice, for example, is suddenly unexplained increase of secrecy with this person. You are seeing that this person is acting weird and very secretive. As I was saying earlier, let's take a look at the phone. Maybe their phone used to lie on the table and now is glued to their bodies. That's a red flag. They flip it face down every time, even when there is no reason. And usually they didn't do that. Or maybe they got to another room to answer a quick message or a call or just a phone call. So let's be clear here. If someone is generally private, that's a normal thing. Nothing's changed. But what matters here is that has changed. And if they didn't used to be like this, something in their behavior shifted. So that's how we need to pay attention on those small little things, but who are at the same time very, very, very big. When you see that this person has new passwords and hidden channels in their phones, I'm not saying that you have to go and take a look at their phones, but a lot of couples have no problem to the other partner to sometimes answer their phones because they are in the shower or something like that. But if you see that this person suddenly doesn't want you to answer his phone when you used to, well, right there you have another red flag, because something is changing. And again, if you are seeing that this person has hidden channels or a new passwords or something like that, pay attention to that. They suddenly change passwords and get defensive if you ask why, and they don't do that usually. Well, there's something going on there. Don't you agree? And another thing that maybe they create a new email account, or maybe you just accidentally found another profile account in social media or something like that. Well, that is another red flag, don't you think? But if you see also they start using apps with disappearing messages, well, obviously there's something going on. So I know that healthy privacy sounds like, don't touch my phone, what's your problem, why are you snooping? When you used to do that, and I'm not saying that you used to look at their phones, as I say earlier, but what I'm saying is, if you are that kind of couple, when someone is busy or cooking or in the shower or doing something that they can answer right now, and you used to tell them, hey, this person is calling you, should I answer? And they say, no, just bring me the phone and just put it on speaker and I will answer. Or, yeah, can you help me to text back to this person because I'm driving and I can text right now. Can you help me, please? And that kind of things just turns to be a problem now. Well, you have to pay attention, because you're not snooping. I'm not saying that every time we take their phone is because we're snooping, but we are able to see some kind of messages because you have all the notifications, and it wasn't a problem and suddenly it became a problem. Also pay attention when this person is texting and suddenly everything is deleted. Like a conversation is constantly deleted, or part of the conversation you can see that is deleting it and you don't know how. Or maybe no chat story with people they talk to, or notifications mystery turn off, for a specific apps or contacts. All those things are red flags. Again, Deleting one thread doesn't prove anything. But if their entire digital life looks like it's been bleached, it's kind of a problem there, because we can see that something is shifted. And you can actually, and I can say that it's actually fair to ask yourself, why is he doing, or is she doing this? So you can also ask yourself something like, okay, it's time to be realistic. Has their tech behavior changed recently? Or is there a good realistic reason for the change, or only vague answers? Do I feel like I'm being included in their lives, or I kept out of it? What I'm saying here is, your goal isn't to have their passwords. Your goal is to notice whether the relationship with secretly suddenly level up. That's a very important thing, and I'm gonna repeat. Your goal isn't to have their passwords. Your goal is to notice whether the relationship with secrecy suddenly level up. That's an important thing to be aware of. And the second area is how they use their time and energy. You know, what I'm saying is time, energy, and routine. If you notice something changing in their routine. So, what are the signs that we need to pay attention to? For example, an unexplained schedule changes. Kind of more late nights at work with no visible projects or deadline, which is very typical. Or maybe a new hobby or new activity where you never you are never invited to, and it's always kind of fuzzy in the details. Or maybe a frequent last minute cancellation with vague excuses. Life changes, of course, are normal, and I have to be clear with it, but people can actually get busier, but healthy changes usually come with context. For example, we have a new client, or something like, I joined this new class, let me show you how it is, or what did I learn, or let me show you where it is, or here's what I'm actually doing, because they don't have to hide anything, so they don't have to be weird about it. So they are actually open to show you who is the new, or introduce you with the new client. Or they might actually invited you to join the new classes of, I don't know, Pilates or spinning or whatever, you name it. The thing is, they have no problem to show you where the place is, or what kind of new exercises or class they are taking. Or if you are noticing something weird and you ask what are they doing, and they are like, here's what I'm actually doing, you can see that this person is not in a defensive way, and they have no problem to tell you or show you what are they doing. But vague changes with defensive answer are totally different. They might be hiding something from you, and that's how you can actually see if something is changing in their behavior. You should also pay attention on the emotional ability that they are showing you. Sometimes they are physically around, but emotionally you can see that they are distant. And sometimes you can also see that they are less curious about your day and less sharing about theirs that they used to. And another thing that it's important, it's if you are seeing that this person is always saying that they are very tired, but you can see also a weird irritability underneath. Something is going on, guys. Pay attention to that. And also pay attention if your body is telling you something is going on. Really listen to your body. Something is actually going on. Nobody changes like that with without a real reason. And when someone is actually hiding something and doesn't want to tell you, really pay attention. That discomfort that your body is showing you might be a sign of something going on. I know that sometimes it doesn't actually say that they are cheating on you, but because it could be stress or depression or a burnout. But sometimes it's an emotional cost of running a double life. And that's how it's so important. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to all the signs and signals that we are talking about right now. Also pay attention of the energy pattern that this person has with you. Some people become colder and you don't know why. They start, there is less touch or less sex or less warmth. Other think that can perhaps become extra sweet, or even giving you things and gift with no reason. Or actually they are trying to have more sex than usually, and they are like more bombing, and that's because of they are feeling guilt, and they try to compensate with gift or more attentionate kind of presence. And that's how you can also see a different pattern in their way they are acting with you. And you should also pay attention when they are bombing you with love and stuff like that, because if it's not usual, they might actually trying to compensate their guilt towards you with that kind of love bombing. And the key again is to pay attention if everything does make sense to you. Does it feel connected and explainable, or just random and off? Okay, pay attention to those questions that you have to ask yourself about how this person is changing, and if it feels normal or random and off. If it's random and off, pay attention. Again, why is he doing things like that or acting this way? And if you are trying to ask him something, or actually you ask this person what's happening, and all you get is a resentment, minimization, or you are crazy, nothing is going on, or you can see that he gets mad in the way he answers is kind of aggressive. Well, while your body is screaming that something changed, again, if your body is telling you that something changed, pay attention to it. It's because something is off. Something is not like it used to. So pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. There's another actually predictive area that you can pay attention is how they handle truth and responsibility in general. Don't forget that cheating is actually a big, big, big lie. People who cheat normally are very comfortable practicing lying in other situations, in other areas first. So, when you see that this person is like changing his story over and over again as they tell them, you know that this person is a person who used to lie and has no problem to lie. Or when they say to you, I don't see your message, but they actually don't have any kind of intention to respond to it or replying, you know that this person has no problem to lie to you in your face. So pay attention when they are caught, and how do they own it? Are they trying to make a swift and get it back to you, or they are trying to find an answer who doesn't make sense, stuff like that? Right there you have a big flag, because a person who can handle being wrong about a small thing, it's very unlikely to come to you and say, I crossed the line and, I'm sorry, I need to tell you what I did. That's something that you can be actually sure that is not going to happen. We know that everyone lies, but we have to be observant on how they take responsibility of their lies. If this person is attacking you because they broke an oath or an agreement and suddenly they are attacking you like, oh, now it's my fault and the relationship is over, you know that this person is not going to own the fact that they messed up and try to go clean with you. Also, see if they have a double standards, because when they do something wrong and they want to make you responsible of it, or they try to make you take responsibility about their acts, is something very problematic things, because let's say that they are flirting, right, and follow someone and DM this person, and they are like, it's not a big deal, but if you do that, they are going to make a big drama about it. You know that this person has double standards. Another thing that you have to pay attention is, for example, if you do something as half as intense and suddenly they are calling you mean or disrespectful, well, again, that's another example how this person has a double standard. It always only applies when you do stuff, but if they do it, it's normal. So pay attention to that. Double standards are dangerous because they reveal entitlement. It's like, I'm allowed everything, but you are not. So when I do things, it's okay, but if you do those things, it's not okay. I'm the only one allowed to do things that might hurtful, but you are not allowed to make the same kind of things that I'm doing. So, in perspective, that kind of mindset makes cheating easier to justify for them. Another thing is, pay attention on how they talk about cheating in general. Do they laugh about it? Or maybe they say everyone does it, or they are minimizing and saying it's just sex. Well, there's another point that where we need to pay attention, because you don't need to be a moral police, but if they are showing zero empathy for people who have been betrayed, well, this person is more likely to cheat also, because they minimize it. They don't see it as such a big deal. But at the end of the day, it tells you something about how seriously they take loyalty. And if they are showing you that loyalty is not such a big deal, well, you can see that this person is more likely to cheat on you than others that are very loyal or show empathy to people who have been betrayed. So that kind of little small things, again, are giving you a lot of clues about how this person is and how easily it is for them to cheat on you or might be able to cheat on you. Okay, now, enough about them. Let's talk about the other side of the story. Let's talk about you. Let's focus our attention about us, and let's see if everything is happening right now, it's something because I have a trauma, or maybe it's something really off. Remember that not every bad feeling means cheating. We also are able to create stories, and we all have stories in our past. And maybe you've been cheated before, so you have that trauma from your past. Or maybe you grew up around secret and instability when you were a young boy or girl, and you have all this trauma again behind you. Or maybe you have an anxious attachment and your brain goes every time to find something worse than is actually the case. So let's explore this. So, how do you tell a difference between my old wounds are activated versus sometimes something here is objectively weird? So let's talk about a few ideas that I might talk about. Look for changes over time. It is a sudden shift in his behavior, or has it always been like this? If this person has always been like this, you can see that it's all in your mind and imagination, because you tend to be insecure and you try to justify that kind of behavior and by finding something wrong because something is triggering you, because you don't feel that you matter maybe as much as you want to see it or feeling it, because this person is a little bit more distant than you would like him to be. You will like this person to be a little bit more into you and show you a little bit more of love, or maybe more kinder, and this person is more like an avoidant. And the more you try to be close to this person is trying to get more and more space, so that triggers you something in your insecurity, and that's why you are having these ideas of this person cheating on you. Another thing that you should check is their patterns and not single events. What I'm saying is, one lie is not painful, but a pattern of lying, it's a big risk. If you see that this person has a pattern to saying and telling you lies all the time to justify how he's acting or how he is doing stuff, well, you know that this person is always lying to you. So pay attention to that, because it's more likely that this person will cheat on you and lie about it. And also, it's not your imagination. You are actually seeing a pattern, and you are actually basing your analysis on facts, not on ideas. And what I am trying to say here is, if your reality checks with someone sane, and it's not someone who hates his partner and what he's doing matches what he's saying, well, I think in that case it's might be more about your past than what is really going on in the relationship. But if you need to, and you should do this, is ask in a calming way, something like, hey, I noticed that something is off, or something doesn't sit well with me. Can we talk about what is happening right now? Pay attention closely, because their reaction to that question is data, big data. If they come cruel, mocking, or completely shut down, just because you are bringing up how you feel, that's already a problem. Cheating or not, that's a real problem. Remember, you don't need absolute proof to honor your own discomfort. You have all the right to ask questions when you are not feeling right, or when you are feeling troubled, or you're feeling that something is going on, or you have all the rights. That's why you are a couple, to make questions when things are not going your way, or some things are not going great. And what I'm saying about your way is because the relationship is going in a different path, or have some changes that you don't understand and make you feel uncomfortable or insecure, and you have all the rights to ask why. And finally, if this person is actually proven that they cheated on you, often we have that question, and we always ask ourselves, after cheating, can we rebuild? Well, When we ask some friends or family, we'll come with very simple answers, like, if they cheat, you leave. Or another one like, once a cheater, always a cheater. Or, if you stay, you have no self-respect. But things here is that in real life, things are a lot more difficult and messier. Because living an affair is not just leaving a person. Sometimes you are leaving a shared home, a whole social circle, a financial structure, a co-parent, and maybe a life you spend years to build. And that's when you actually had a lot of history with this person because you've been together for a very long time. And sometimes people stay, sometimes for a very good reason or sometimes for a reason that hurt them. It is possible to rebuild after cheating? That's a big question. And the answer is very simple. Sometimes yes, and sometimes absolutely not. The difference is the behavior after the truth comes out.
Looking for real conversations about love, connection, and everything in between? Listen to Love Hacks. Honest, heartfelt, and in 4 languages: English, Espanol, Francais, and Portuguese. Find your version wherever you get your podcast. See you soon.
When is it possible? Well, let's say when the person who cheated takes full responsibility about his actions, when they are able to answer all your questions honestly, even when it's very, very uncomfortable, because they really want to work and fix their mistakes, when they end all contact with the person who they had this affair and they are actually willing to show you and prove it that they have no more communication with this person, when they accept to be transparent and full transparency, when they are in the middle of a phone call or a text or in social media and share their schedule without calling you crazy or intrusive or making a big deal about it, when they show a constant remorse through their actions and not just tears and speeches, but they are actually doing all the effort and they are showing you all the efforts that they are making with facts and not with words, and you can see that they are actually trying very, very hard to rebuild what they destroyed. When they are willing to help or to get help with therapy, counseling, no matter how hard and whatever it takes, because they really want to be with you, because they know that they have to rebuild your trust. When people really want to, and you are able to see that your relationship has more important things and important facts, like the person showed when you have a lot of problems, when someone died, when you have a huge health problem, when they show up for you and have been there in very big events of your life, I think sometimes the relationship has a lot more weight than an affair. But again, it will depend a lot on your personality too. But sometimes you have to take a perspective and see how your relationship was before the cheating. I know it's hard, and sometimes we think like everything is over. But if your relationship was very strong and had a lot of good stuff, and this person was there for you on and helping you a lot, and suddenly he made a mistake, take a look at it and see if it's very respectful on the relationship. Because if you have more good stuff than bad stuff, maybe you can be able to forgive this person. I'm not saying that you're going to forget, because you have the right to remind that person that he made a mistake, and that you are trying to fix it. Because I don't believe that it's actually possible to forget what happened, but you are able to rebuild even a more strong relationship after the cheating, because you really want to be together. But again, it will depend on you. But know that it is possible to rebuild a relationship. But if you have signs that rebuilding it's a probably bad idea, like, I don't know, maybe they are minimizing what happened, and that it wasn't a big deal, or it was just sex, that we were saying, obviously you know that this person is not taking responsibility and is not owning his acts and the way they screwed up. So I don't think that going back to rebuild a relationship with this kind of people, it's a good idea. Or when they are blaming you for the choices that they have made, well, right there, again, you have another red flag that is telling you that's not a good idea to go back with this person. Or another example, when they are asking for forgiveness and immediately after they are actually calling you toxic because you telling them that it hurts you, or they trying to avoid all the responsibility that they have. Again, you don't have to go back with a person like that. So pay attention on how they react when you are trying to see if this person is worthy to try again or not. And again, if you are seeing that this person is not the first time that is cheating on you, well, again, don't stay with this person, because this person is going to cheat on you again and again and again, because he already showed you that even after you made the effort to forgive him and then he is cheating on you again, guys, you know that this guy is a cheater, or this person is a cheater. But at the end of the day, as I was saying earlier or a few minutes ago, at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your anger, it's your grief. Again, it's your choice. And it's normal to feel anger, and it's normal to think that the anger of having to grow because of their mistakes, it's unfair. You have all the rights to think that. Because yes, it can feel like I didn't ask for this healing journey, because you didn't. And it can also be, why do I have to do inner work because you blew up our trust? And it's normal to feel that anger and ask that questions. Why do you have to make so much effort to heal and to try to fix things with someone who hurt you that much? And why is that my job to turn this into something meaningful when you didn't care about our marriage? And it's normal to feel like that. It's like, why should I do so much effort to forgive you and to fix things with you? And it's normal to feel that way. Nobody has to judge you or feel like you are exaggerating or something, because you really feel those things. Here is the thing. You are allowed to be angry for a long time. You don't have to be zen about it in 6 months or a year. And things that you can say about this to this person is that there are parts of this situation that will never fully forgive, that you will never fully forgive. Another thing is that you can say is, I will always remember that you did this. And it's totally normal. As I told you, I don't believe that you can forget something like that. It's a treason. You cannot forget something like that. But you can still decide in other areas you were a good partner and I choose to stay now because of what we said earlier. This person might have made the biggest mistake of his life, but in other areas he was a very good person, and a very good person means being there for you no matter what, and he did that and he was there for you. So he might made a mistake, but he was before that a very good person and a very good husband or wife. Staying doesn't mean erasing the past, or leaving doesn't mean the whole relationship was fake. Don't go there, because it is possible to hold both. What you did was devastating, or what he did was devastating, and they were also real beautiful things in what you had in your relationship. Your job now is to decide, do you have enough in front of you right now in their behavior, in my own body, to justify staying and trying to rebuild something again with him or with her? If your answer is no, well, you are allowed to leave, even if they begging and promising and crying. It's your right. You don't have to destroy your entire story to respect yourself. You just have to stop abandoning yourself in the present. You cannot fully control whether someone will cheat, that their character, their choices, their relationship with truth. What you can do is paying attention when their behavior starts to pointing in a direction you don't like. Stop explaining away every discomfort with a pretty story, and choose people who show over time that their words, values, and actions actually line up. You don't need to become a detective. You don't need to watch a partner like a prison guard. What you need is a commitment to your own reality, your body, your observation, your needs. And the courage to say, something feels off, I'm not going to ignore it this time. If you have been betrayed and you're listening to this, you are not stupid, you are not naive, and you're not broken. You did what humans do. You try to protect the life you loved. So guys, if this episode helped you to feel even 1% clear of less alone, please share it with someone who needs it. And follow Love Hacks for more conversations about love, patterns, and self-respect. Well guys, I'm Michaela, and this was Will They Cheat? The signs you don't want to see, and see you in the next episode, and I hope I will see you next week. Have a good one, guys. Bye.